Welcome back to Gotcha Interact. Today we're going to be talking about the developers discussion that came out earlier on today, almost 24 hours ago actually, if we look here. And we're going to be talking about a lot of the different quality of life features that kind of came through this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the first thing. And I do want to quickly apologize. I am feeling a little sick. So if you hear a lot of congestion, that is just me on my part as well. But the first thing we want to talk about is the new limited time area exploration rewards. Now, with the new area and everything else like that, we've seen with quest lines, they've been giving a lot in Natlan, at least Rift, right? Like the whole, if you finish the story before a certain point in time, they gave us a certain amount of primos.
Yeah,
So
which is great.
yeah, that was great. I think everybody was happy about that. But then
Yeah.
you have that, and then there's more rewards in the overworld, which was nice to know as well. We got through the live stream for 5.0, so to see even more of the exploration rewards is nice. Basically, it's stating that there will be limited time area exploration rewards whenever a new area becomes available. The rewards collection period will last for 2 versions. So this seems like it's going to be happening obviously in the future as well, not just for the regions that are happening right now, but for the regions that are going on right now. The new areas in version 5.0, which is the basin of Unnumbered Flames, Tekamekan Valley, Kotepec Mountain, and Toyak Springs, if those meet certain exploration requirements to obtain a total of 400 primos over that period of time. So if you can see here in this area, it kind of has the 3 other versions of it. You have the very 40%, 60%, and 80% on basically all of it, all of Natlan, and that's kind of the idea. And you can see towards the top there's another 100 as well. So we're just getting some more rewards for that. But Rift, beyond more exploration rewards, what else are we kind of seeing in other areas of what we're getting in this new developers discussion for the new updates?
Well, we are getting some optimized Spiral Abyss stuff going on, and this is pretty interesting. It kind of, for me, it seems like a finally kind of thing, even though I don't mind doing floor 9 and 10 over again because I just like combat gameplay.
I do. I want to stop doing floor 9 and 10.
Which is fair, and I think there's a lot of players that would resonate with that, and they are also looking at this going, finally we can just skip past the easy floors that we know we can already do every single time. And so much like how Star Rail has been doing that for a long time, and it's like Genshin's finally getting on the train, right? No pun intended. But it is nice though that if you have done floor 12 for the last Abyss, then 9 and 10 for the next rotation will automatically be cleared for you if you can just start from floor 11 and clear it, right, getting all the stars. So that's just nice. And then if you cleared floor 11, it clears floor 9 for you, and you can start at 10. So you can see that right here behind me. So that is just a nice little quality of life, saves some players some time, for the players who do care about that kind of thing, and their combat's not like their favorite thing in the world. It is just a time saver, so that's pretty nice. And then moving on, you can also, like with these boxes that you get for doing the different floors, you can open those all at one time. You can see there in the picture, instead of just open, get garbage artifact, open, get garbage artifact, open, get garbage. Like, you just open them all at the same time, and now you can be like, okay, garbage, 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 and it's just faster, right? You're not wasting time on all this garbage. So that's just a nice, another quality of life there with the Spiral Abyss. But then next we have optimized character building experience. So Vixen, what is that?
Well, it's funny we're bringing this up because for the longest time I actually had the different numbers that you would need to level 90 a character. If y'all wanted to bring 1 talent, 2 talents, 3 talents, I had the numbers up. I think it's like 321 and something else. Like, there's a certain amount for each one to get from level 1 to level 9 or level 10 with talents and crowning. I had them for 1 through 8 for certain characters, 1 through 9 and 1 through 10. It's all of this math that you're just kind of doing and keeping. I had like in a notepad. And this kind of saves this a little bit to an extent. So you don't really have to worry about, do I have enough? Let me make sure. Let me check. How much do I need for the character again? In the actual character building, when you're in the crafting bench, if you click the bottom left corner, you can see in the picture, I will move up so that we're not on Rift's head here. But if you see basically right over here, this little 4 dots or the 4 kind of corners in this area here, this point in time, then you'll have all the character development items in one entire go, and you'll be able to craft them right away. So you'll be able to immediately craft from the screen where it just has all their specialized basically materials in one area, so you don't have to go scrolling through and finding the different ones. And usually they're always like separated so that they're all not together. But obviously here we see with Kanish, they're obviously right on top of each other, so it's very easy to just, you know what you need, so if people are accidentally grabbing other things, you don't have to worry about that. Also, you can even switch it around and change it based on whether you want everything or if you just want the character ascension, the equipped weapon ascension. So the weapon that you have equipped, it will make sure that the weapon that's equipped, it will have the ascension materials that you need for that. Also, it'll have the normal attack, the elemental skill, and the elemental burst, what you'll need for all of those specific materials for those talents. So it's very nice to see that. It's just, once again, a quality of life, nothing crazy, but just a little bit more helpful. And here there's just a few more pictures really of just showing us. Obviously here you need, like, I guess I can zoom in a little bit more here. In a very basic sense, you can see with all of these, you know, you have 3 out of 6, 67 out of 15, all that stuff. It's just making sure out of everything you have, how much do you really need? And so that's just nice to know and see. And I think it's just going to save a little bit more time for characters that are, or people that are kind of, you know, getting characters over to that amount as well. And also at the bottom, I do want to talk about the maximum craftable amount will be shown in the source information section for the character development items. So as I was talking about before, you need 21 of those blues to actually get to a maximum level of 1 talent. And so it'll let you know this is the maximum amount you need. So if you do happen, you know, some people don't know the exact number or aren't looking in the correct area, it'll be right on the actual material itself as well to help out even more for people as they're getting ready to level characters.
Yeah, and I think all of this is just so nice, having played the game so long, and a lot of people, once again, are going to relate to this, but always sitting there and kind of doing the math after doing a domain clear, whether that is for the weapon, the talents, whatever, and you're just sitting there looking at the different rarities, and you're like, okay, I've got 8 greens, okay, that's 2 blues, I got to add 2 to, okay, I have 16, so that's 18, which... that's exactly 6 of the good, you know, and so you're like sitting there doing the math. This just kind of eliminates that, and you can just, it's just really nice. Like, it gives you a whole interface to just work with one character at a time, and I just really like this update a lot. Moving on, we also see here other interface and feature optimizations. So they did do a small change to the adventure handbook, which is kind of nice. I don't really use it that often. I guess I had been using it a little bit more when they did that new commission change where it like stores up commission progress based on just doing different things, right? And then it just goes to your commissions. And then I kind of started using the book a little more, and I'm sure that's kind of everyone. So they did just kind of reorder it, showing it the newest trounce domains going down towards older ones, so it just kind of helps you know what's what a little bit better. So that is nice. And then we also see some default display page optimizations. So you can see how, like, before in the handbook, when you had the experience completed, the first time you open it, after you log in, the commissions and the guide tabs, they're going to be displayed first now, which is, I guess, kind of nice. I don't think that's huge, but it is kind of nice. It'll just be there at the top. It kind of lets you know, oh, I haven't done my commissions yet. I need to get those finished, or go claim that from Catherine if you haven't done so yet. So just at this point, we're just looking at very, very small things. We've kind of already looked at the big, you know, the big stuff for these quality of life changes. These are the small stuff, but a little bit more interesting, coming back into a bigger thing, is this artifact filtering change for custom filtering. And this, I think, is a really cool thing. I know, Vixen, you were actually pretty excited about this, but in the most basic sense, we already can filter artifacts by the sets. We can filter them by the main stats and even by substats. That's been around for a while now. But now it's making it here, and you can read this behind. You can pause the video, read it, or whatever. But basically, let's say we're on Kanish, like it is in the background, and I want to filter for, you know, Obsidian Codex. I'm going to filter for my attack percent, my crit, and all that. If I then go to a different character, like Navia, okay, and then I come back to Kanish, it actually saves what I was filtering for, so you don't always have to constantly, if you're switching between a lot of characters, or you just build a lot of characters, or you're building multiple at the same time, you don't have to constantly be setting filters each time you go in and out of the artifact section. So that is kind of nice. Once again, just a big time saver. And kind of helps, especially if you are, once again, building a lot of characters, you can kind of not have to, like, re-jog your memory if you're coming back to a character you had stopped building for a while, and you kind of have to be like, okay, how do I want to build this character again? You can kind of just be like, oh, this is what I was doing. And so I think that's going to be really nice. I like that personally. But Vixen, what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, like you said, yeah, I'm extremely excited to see what is really going to come from this. Definitely that's going to be a lot of help. Just because, especially while you're building characters, like you said, either jumping between multiple characters, because usually when you're grinding a domain, especially this new set, there's many characters you're probably thinking about in the future, if not characters you already have. And so bouncing between them in the two sets, as well as sometimes different characters, they might run on the same set, but they might run different main stats and stuff like that. So each character is going to have an artifact filter plan, which is going to help in the long run for even when you actually get into looking at the character and you actually jump back in, even when you just open up the page, it's going to be there. Also, if you get artifacts in the meantime, those artifacts are going to be thrown in there as well, and they'll be in the correct filter as well to make that a little bit easier. So as you're grinding for artifacts, you don't have to constantly pop the tab over and over again every time you're done with doing a few runs in a domain or something like that, and then immediately have to click the 3, 4, 5, 17 options that you want. It's just a hassle and a half. Especially it's nice because you're just doing that with so many characters. So another great thing that I think we're happening here, at the end of the day, this is all a lot of quality of life changes. Obviously at the top we saw majorly some extra primos, which if you guys are free-to-play players, that's probably going to be a big thing for you guys if you guys are kind of making sure you guys grab as many primos as possible. But even you free-to-play players, make sure you guys are trying to explore as much as humanly possible with Natlan, so you guys can get at least a few extra 100 primos just to make maybe life a little bit easier in future banners.
Yeah, and I think that very top one in the image itself, where it's showing the rewards, you can barely tell. I was looking at this right above where it says regional exploration progress, and you have the 40%, 60%, 80%. I think the one right above that, it looks like it's saying complete between pledge and forgettance or something, right? And that makes me think it's probably either talking about the world quest for that region, or maybe just the Archon quest if there isn't a new world quest, right? That's just my thought on that.
It actually is. So that one is between pledge and forgettance. It's the major. Natlan's a little bit weird, and without spoiling it for people who want to go into world quest and whatnot, it's a very broad quest line that you want to follow. I don't know if this specific quest ends early and it's a bunch of quests that end after it, and or if it's the kind of umbrella quest that everything's a part of, and there's a bunch of smaller major quests. But yeah, this is world quest that it's talking about here. And to get to 40, 60, to get to specifically 80%, you're most likely going to have to do a lot of these quests, because getting through this is going to help you actually open up a lot of areas in Natlan that you can't do without usually starting this quest. So,
not to mention it does count as the progress itself, and then just get the hierarchy, get the obvious stuff, because that all counts towards the progress. So it's really easy.
Well, I think that's everything we've got in this developers discussion. If you guys have any other ideas or anything else you've heard, what are you guys most excited for? Go ahead and let us know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys did like the video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Also check out our Discord as well. Thank you again for watching the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.